Will the heroes of the Marvel Universe be able to build a better world from the ashes of the old one? Well, let's hop into the pages of Dark Ages issue number 2 and find out together, shall we? So then, at the end of the previous issue, in order to save all life on Earth from the terrifying Unmaker, Doctor Strange was forced to tap into an EMP universe. Their foe was vanquished, but Earth ended up losing all electricity and basically everything and everyone who relied on electricity to live. As you might have guessed, the ensuing years after that were pretty hard on everyone, pretty much non-stop war between nations and other factions for resources, for control. Much blood would be spilled in these conflicts, including that belonging to heroes and villains alike. Eventually, though, the rest of the superhero community hit upon the idea that there could be a better way. That if they were able to pool together their amazing powers and abilities, that this need not be a Mad Max leather-clad apocalypse, but instead some sort of post-apocalyptic utopia. And you know what? This crazy idea actually worked. The superheroes pulled it together and actually managed to build back a better world from the ashes of the old one. The heroes gathered together their greatest engineers and thinkers, and in the end everyone was moved to giant secure super cities all connected by powerful psychics like Professor X. Turns out these places were actually pretty good to raise families. Peter and Mary Jane certainly feel that way, and Annie Mae Parker is growing in power and in size by the day, and oh, would you look at her costume, she's got a cute little pink spider on it. The good news doesn't stop there either. With the death of industry and the major polluters, mankind is actually walking back that whole climate crisis that probably would have killed us all in a few generations anyway. Now that's not to say the world is perfect and we're all sitting around singing Kumbayas. Night raids are a real problem, for you see, with no light left on Earth, the creatures that dwell in the darkness, vampires, werewolves, and what have you, have grown in size and power considerably. Luckily, the superheroes have their own system for taking care of these creatures, and Blade gets to do what he does best, hunting some damn vampires. It's during one of these nighttime raids we see the big return of Steve Rogers' Captain America. Apparently at some point he left to assess the situation in Europe and is only now returning. His first port of call is the home for Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, and by home I of course mean a cave with no door. Yes, the irony is not lost on me at all that Iron Man willingly chooses to live in a cave now. Only instead of playing with a box of scraps, he's working on his medieval alchemy. He's already mastered turning lead to gold. Unfortunately, there's no money in this post-apocalypse anymore. Yeah, take that, the gold standard. The former Iron Man puts on a brave face, saying that he doesn't miss electricity or technology, but deep down in the back of his mind, he still dreams of all the amazing machines that he can build, but not power. Cap says that he may have found the secret to turning the lights back on in Europe, but to understand more, Tony will have to meet his new friends. It's here we see that Apocalypse and Dracula have followed Steve. Oh, but wait, there's more. Turns out that's not actually Steve at all. That's Mystique, who's stolen his shield and assumed his shape. And while that part may have been a lie, the whole part about maybe finding a way to turn the lights back on turns out to be truthful. Apocalypse has kidnapped Tony Stark so he can take him back to his brand new empire in Europe, complete with slave-built statues. And Sabanur tells Tony not to be so judgy about the whole slave thing. After all, weren't all your amazing metals in your suit and all the minerals in your microchips, they were dug up by some slave somewhere, no doubt. Now what exactly is Apocalypse's secret? Well, it seems that he's figured out a way to build a massive Faraday cage to try and keep the EMP effects out. The only problem is his design doesn't seem to be strong enough. He's tried making out of vibranium, adamantium, whatever he can find, but nothing seems to do the trick. Oh, but the worst revelations are still yet to come. You see, this whole thing is actually powered by Eric Lencher Magneto. Apocalypse says that he's doing this of his own free will. In fact, all of the people he has working for him right now, including Riri and Mr. Fantastic, are doing this of their free will, but in reality, Apocalypse has the Purple Man batting cleanup for him and stealing people's minds away from them. Of course, this all still begs the question, what the hell does someone like Apocalypse care whether or not the electricity is on? Well, the answer actually comes back to the Unmaker, and Sabanur says he touched the mind of an elder god before the fall of the world, and he now wants that power for himself, and he doesn't care what he's going to have to do to get it as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Dark Ages issue number 2, everybody, and once again, Tom Taylor turns in another absolute banger in a year filled with absolute bangers from this creator. I positively love the design work from the art team on this one. It would be very easy to rest on your laurels when it comes to redesigning the Marvel Universe, but with a post-apocalyptic flair, but here, though, they go out of their way to find a ton of new angles I never even considered. That same sort of creativity creativity and innovation also extends to the characters that Tom Taylor chooses to focus on in this story. I love that Apocalypse, of all people, is the main big bad. I love that Dracula continues to get a big push across all the Marvel books. I like that vampire and werewolf society would thrive in this Dark Ages world, and that's something the superhero community has to try and overcome. I think what this book and Taylor gets better than just about anyone else writing apocalypse fiction right now is that the real key to the excellent type of apocalypse stories are that they're also show what we're made of kind of stories. And that same idea is very core to really great superhero stories as well. After all, you're not a hero when things are going good, you're a hero when things are going bad and your mettle is being tested. Overall, I'd give this one another strong 9 out of 10. Dark Ages is quickly becoming one of the most pleasant reads I've had in a while.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.